Hello and welcome to First Generation American Drinks and Dialogue. My name is Ania Jablonowski. I'm the host of Drinks and Dialogue and also the founder of the project. With me today, I have two very special guests, Jessica Rosas and Andrew Hill. Jessica and Andrew, welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us today. So Jessica, you're the co-founder of First Generation American Project.
Yes.
And Andrew, you are our director on the team. I'm so excited to have you in studio here today. So Jessica, I want to share how you got involved with the project and where we started with all this. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you first. So tell me, where are your parents from, what's your background, and let's then get to the point of me and you shopping at the outlet mall.
Okay. So I am from Kansas City, Missouri. My parents are both from the Philippines, grew up there, and then they came here when they were young adults, and they were both nurses. And they had, the American dream, wanting to come to America for greater opportunities and provide for us and put us through a good school. So we landed in Kansas City, Missouri.
Which is like the heart of
the heart of the U.S., definitely. And luckily I got to meet you going to DePaul University.
Mm-hmm. And
we just started talking about First Generation American and what it was like to grow up and how we have such a unique experience.
So I remember it was the day. So we did marketing together, our whole core group of friends at DePaul University in Chicago.
Right.
We were like the United Nations. We had like one person from every part of the globe. And in our group of friends, a lot of them were First Generation Americans. We always kind of related to each other about the, unique yet similar experiences that we have.
Definitely.
And so there was one day 2 years ago, just about exactly 2 years ago, you and I went shopping at the outlet mall. And I was packing my bags for a Polish wedding in Poland. I was standing up at my cousin's wedding. And, I asked you if you want to make the road trip to Aurora with me. And of course, it's like when you pack for Poland, it's not that I was buying myself new clothes. It's like you're buying stuff for all the family out there. Like you just have to come with an extra bag. And we were laughing about the experience of what it's like every time you go back and visit and, just table hopping from all your different family members and everything. And then we were both talking about, well, what is this thing about being First Generation American? We should look into this.
Definitely. And I have my own experiences with going back to the Philippines. We always bring a box of things like our clothes or like goods and different types of food, and just because they don't have those things in the Philippines.
Were there any like specific Kansas City items that you would ever bring them?
Yeah, like we would bring them back barbecue because
Yes.
That's just what Kansas City is known for.
Absolutely. Well, and that's exactly what I think of. I've been to Kansas City a few times, and I just think of Gates Barbecue. It's mouth-watering.
Definitely.
So I'm so excited as to all the progress that we've made. First we started off with our mornings at Starbucks. Our day job starts at 8 a.m.
Right.
And then we would be meeting at Starbucks at 6:30, 7 a.m. to squeeze in some first generation planning time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like right around January of 2012.
Yeah, and we had a list of the things that we wanted to accomplish called our Shoot for the Stars list.
Yes.
And
we kind of got a little ambitious with that list.
Definitely.
And now we're seeing some of these things just come to fruition. And it's really amazing, to be partnered with such great people that recognize the mission here and want to help progress this project, which is evolving to something much greater than we ever expected.
Yeah, since then we've had a lot of great events, a lot of socials. Mm-hmm. Most recently we had our Drinks and Dialogue over at Vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
That was just an amazing turnout and had a lot of new people, new faces, a lot of enthusiasm for the topic. So.
And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Andrew. So, you did such an incredible job bringing in a ton of new people, and it's pretty exciting when you plan a small group discussion for 20 people, and then it ends up being about 50 to 60 attendees.
Well, everyone's just so excited and passionate about the project that it's not really any effort to get people there because everybody there is such a good person.
I love that. And so, Andrew, we all met through Connect, Inspire, Grow. which was founded by Monica Radzewski, one of our recent Drinks and Dialogue interviewees. So Jessica and I went to DePaul together. I asked her to be on the host committee. You came in on the host committee as well, and we all kind of had this similar goal to just continue networking throughout Chicago and growing our businesses and, realizing some of our own dreams and our own projects. So it's been great to just see you through that core, and then with Jessica and I communicating what we have here with First Generation American Project, how we want to connect with FGAs and document the stories, but then also develop other programs that can perhaps give back to the community and really, put this into a platform where we can help people. So tell us a bit about your background and why this topic is important to you. Well, and you're not First Generation American. We've actually made you an honorary First Generation American.
Thank you very much. I'm very
The
proud.
certificate is in the mail.
Okay. I'll frame it.
Great.
I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. There was not very much opportunity there, so I left in pursuit of opportunity and diversity and life experiences. So I can really relate to what was one of the reasons that your parents maybe left Poland.
And my dad left a farm.
Right.
A really homogenous farm.
So I really connect with the topic, and I meet so many great people from very different backgrounds that have gone on to be successful, happy people, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. And you've done some tremendous groundwork here. You've introduced us to some really incredible First Generation Americans. And, like I said, it was pretty great to be at our event at Vertigo Sky Lounge. And I have some photos that I'd like to share. So we've got them here on our laptop that we could plug in. And we actually have a whole album. If you go to facebook.com/firstgenerationamerican, or if you just Google us, the three of us got there early and started building our cupcake tree here, and everything was just very patriotic themed. So as soon as we saw that RSVP jump up from 20 people to 50 confirmed and 40 maybes, it was pretty exciting to see that turn out. So of course I ran to the dollar store, and thank goodness this is like a week before 4th of July, where all the holiday decorations are out there, so that made it very easy. But I'm pretty partial to red, white, and blue lately. It's actually, I'm just going to go back to this picture here. So this is a photo of Rachel Brown's cooking. And Rachel Brown is actually dating our friend Adam Drapinski, who's a First Generation American and comes to our events quite frequently. He meets up with us for this small group discussion. And Rachel, she's a great American girl. She's got a little bit of Polish background. She wants to learn Polish. She is so enticed by the Polish culture through her First Generation American boyfriend that she is now learning Polish through the universal language of food. So she actually made some Polish meatballs for us that we stuck in our little American flags here.
They were delicious.
They were great. And so her company is called Basha's Kitchen. And, she works for a law firm during the day, and this is her side project that she started, which is great. And, this is something that we all do, and I think it's that, entrepreneurial spirit that we might get, whether it's from our immigrant parents or, just seeing what this country is built on. It's like you've got your day job, you've got your career, you do great with that, and then you're just so inclined to pursue, other projects as well. So, Vertigo Sky Lounge as well. This is managed by Gino Bertucci, one of our recent First Generation American interviewees.
Couple episodes.
Yeah, and he's, he had a great story too, talking about how he brought sardines to lunch, and people are looking at him like, what is that? Oh, and I have to interject here. So we actually had our sparklers. So every time people go out in Chicago, you go to a lounge or a club, and they bring out the bottle. It's a big presentation. Everyone's looking because there's the sparklers. And we thought, well, how fun would it be for everyone to get their own sparkler with a cocktail? So Vertigo Sky Lounge actually created the American Beauty cocktail for us, which was so exciting. It was the blue liqueur with a red cherry. Pretty great. And, you know, it was really wonderful to have a lot of different sponsors. Here's Rachel Brown. You know, we had some great sponsors, including Bucket Feet. They gave away a gift card. They're actually, yeah, Raj Namani is a first-generation American, recent startup company too, and they're actually a company that gives back. So for every pair of shoes that is sold, they're actually made by artists throughout the world too. There's a portion of proceeds that goes back to kids in need. We had Tulia's earring queue, great, beautiful earrings that we had. We'll see that in our slideshow here as well. Red Edge Solutions, which is our great marketing company that we're teaming up. So tomorrow for our 5K, we'll have First Generation American stickers that everyone can wear. We also had Dana Hotel and Spa give away a stay at the hotel and a massage, which was pretty incredible.
That's great.
Hip Hop Aerobics Chicago gave away a gift card for her hip hop classes, and that's by Corinne Meyer, of course, one of our Swedish first generation Americans that we interviewed.
She was on the last episode as well, right?
Yes, yes, and she was actually interviewed alongside Sonali Patel, who raffled off her flirty yoga pants. So we have, you know, here we have Dr. Joanna Slusky, who we've interviewed recently. You know, so it's just been pretty amazing to team up with some great people. We've had Kamil Bartoszta with KVE Entertainment team up with us, and like I said, it's pretty incredible to come out and, you know, oh, I have to go back to Cameron photobombing, of course. Our good friend Cameron. You know, it's just remarkable to see everyone get together here, and I'll leave the slideshow on this with our raffle giveaway. You know, just aside from all the stories that we're hearing and these universal concepts that we're capturing, that no matter how different you are, you know, your family's from a different part of the world where my family's from, and we even grew up in different parts of the U.S. But we have all these fundamental common denominators, and, you know, we can relate to each other in so many topics, and, you know, we have the same common denominator is that we're American.
Right.
And we're proud of our heritage. We're proud of who we are. And, you know, there's a responsibility that we have to either hold on to some traditions or phase them out. You know, it depends on each person. But it's great to be able to identify different areas where we can take this platform and give back to the community. So, Andrew, I'm going to let you speak a bit about what we're doing for our August First Generation American Drinks and Dialogue seminar.
Well, we're having a seminar. We're getting together experts in education, just first-generation Americans with really great experiences that know what it's like to grow up, maybe having a different language at home than they speak at school, and also experts in organizing and building good groups, all to come together to brainstorm about how we can best form a mentorship program to really serve these first-generation kids that otherwise are maybe being overlooked in life.
So with that point, you know, I can definitely relate to that overlooking, because when I was in school, there wasn't English as a second language. You know, nowadays it's something that is a lot more mainstream, it's a lot more common, but nonetheless, there are still kids who either their parents came here and they don't speak English, or the first generation American actually came here at the age of 10 or under, and, you know, whether they spoke Polish or Italian or whatever their language might be, you know, they're coming here to learn English for the first time, perhaps. And it's one thing when you're in school and you're learning your English and you're trying to keep up with everything, but then you go home and it's back to your Polish or back to your Italian, and, you know, there is a bit of that struggle. And even when you have reading homework, you know, your vocabulary might not be up to par in English because your parents are just not using that language, you're not exercising certain words at home. And so, you know, I can definitely relate to that. My parents came from Poland, and I had to stay in school for recess while my friends are playing on the playground many times, because there were things. I remember one specific word. It was in 3rd grade. We were reading some book. I can't remember what the book was, but the word was beyond. So we had our vocabulary list, and you had to find it within the chapter. And then, back in the day, there were these things. They were dictionaries. Remember? It was like that paper book with words. Yeah. Now kids just Google everything. But so you would have to open up the dictionary and look up this word, and then write it in another sentence, and then, there's a quiz the next day as well. And this word beyond was beyond me. I couldn't figure it out. I'm trying to tell my mom, we're trying to make sense of this thing. We've got the Polish English translating dictionary too. It's like a notorious yellow one that the whole Polish community knows. And I just remember having this struggle and just feeling so frustrated. It's not that I felt dumb. I just felt like, I had this disadvantage. Like, I wish I could just get these words out and go play with my friends on the swings.
Right, and maybe your mom couldn't help you in the same way, not being a native speaker.
Right.
So that makes it even harder, and that's even more reason why we need this mentorship program.
Absolutely. And Jessica, I want you to speak to your experience, because I know that your parents were great advocates of making sure that you know the English language. So how would you say your experience was? Do you think it was definitely easier to get through school, or was there a difference from any of your friends who didn't have English as a first language?
Well, my parents spoke to me in English, and they were native Tagalog speakers. This is the native language of the Philippines. And they didn't want me to get confused, so they didn't teach me Tagalog. And so for me, I learned English, and that was my first language, but I feel like I'm missing out when I can't connect with my family members, because they're primarily Tagalog speakers. And so I think this would be like a great program to connect with first-generation Americans and help them, bridge that gap with language and that barrier that can hinder communication and connections with people.
Right, and also preserve the culture too, so you can actually, still use your language as you pair up. So I'm just going to kind of walk through an example of what this mentorship looks like. Well, first let's go to our event. So in August, we're bringing in the 3 educators, as you mentioned, 3 first-generation Americans, and we have 4 problem solvers. So whether that's an executive director of an organization, an operations manager, someone with that oversight where they can connect the dots and really kind of piece everything together to solve problems. So the structure of this event is, first, I, as a first-generation American, will talk about my experience. What was it like? And then Jessica could chime in with hers and say, well, it was a bit easier to learn English in school. And then, so for our group of first-generation Americans, they'll share their experience. And then we have some great teachers here from the Chicagoland area that are going to discuss what it's like having students, from their perspective, from the teaching perspective. What's it like seeing kids who don't speak English, or English is not spoken at home? Giving that perspective as well. And then these problem solvers, executive directors, will come in and really absorb those 2 different dialogues and share what they think would be a great solution, or what we can do with the mentorship program. And it definitely makes me proud to think that if we can source qualified top teachers, especially through the Top Teachers Association. One of our teachers that will be speaking on our panel is Craig Falco, founder of Top Teachers Association, and just go right to the core. Because a lot of times, so Andrew, when you and I actually attended the MEX Talks, which is the TEDx Talks of the Latino community, they were talking about why a lot of students are not graduating college, or not even going to college and not graduating high school. It's not because they just blew up high school, it's because they're already behind from kindergarten through 5th grade. And that's exactly who we're targeting with this program, is kindergarten through 5th grade, making sure that these young kids don't have that disadvantage, where we can help that transition and even ease some of the stress. Like you were saying, it is stressful for the parents, where you just feel helpless. You want to help your kid, but you don't speak the language. You have to work. You have to provide for the family. So I definitely think that it will be a great resource, and I'm excited to see how we develop this program. This is our goal for quarter 4 of 2013, and we're hoping to make this an official program 1 year from now.
Yeah, it's a really exciting initiative. It's a way to connect with other first-generation Americans and, reach out to young people as well and be able to give back.
Absolutely.
So it's a great project.
That's what it's all about. So speaking of giving back, I can't wait. Well, first of all, I can't wait for our birthday / celebration run tomorrow. Andrew, happy birthday. It's your birthday on Monday.
Thank you.
Na zdrowie, 100 lat, wszystkiego najlepszego z okazji urodzin. Tak. So I've got on my computer screen here our First Generation American page on Facebook, and our cover photo is actually for Safe Haven Foundation, which is one of the largest homeless shelters in the U.S. So I'll actually direct my attention here. So we invite everyone to come and join our team tomorrow. Registration online is already closed, but we do invite you to come to the beautiful Douglas Park in Chicago. So Safe Haven Foundation was actually started by Nellie Vasquez Rowland and Brian Rowland, who are both first-generation Americans, we found out, and we've been teamed up with them through Connect, Inspire, Grow, and we've been supporting them. We've done so many Christmas parties for them, and we've done the 5K last year where you placed in it as well, and we ran on your birthday.
Yeah.
So this is a run-walk, emphasis on walk. There's a lot of people that have a little apprehension to run. 5K sounds like a lot, especially when you don't know the metric system. So, just a little over 3 miles, not too bad. And then if someone does decide to walk, you're welcome to do just 1 lap around the park, which is about 1.5 miles. And, if you're a commuter in Chicago using the trains and buses, you probably walk more than 2 miles every day. So, Andrew, tell me about what it was like running this 5K last year. What was the energy like? What was the momentum like? And tell us how you felt about supporting the cause.
Well, it's a really great cause. The organization itself, really helps get homeless people off the street and also help train them for success in life. So it's more than just providing them a bed.
Right.
So running it was very exciting. It was very fun. Nice little event, and there's a great party afterwards.
I know. We pretty much started the dance party. There's a great stage. So they have a few Grammy award-winning artists performing tomorrow. Some of them even worked with Kanye West. So, we've got some big names on the board here, and ABC 7, Channel 7 in Chicago will be covering it. So I'm encouraging everyone to set their VCR. Just kidding. But, Jessica, you ran this with me last year, and I was one of those, run walkers, and you pretty much took off. So you're actually a marathon runner, too.
Yeah, well, I'll be running my first marathon this fall.
Wonderful.
So, been training for that. And this is a good training ground for that as well, just to get in some good speed work.
So if we could set the expectation, what does a pro runner usually run a 5K at?
Pro runner.
You don't even want to know.
I mean, okay. 17 minutes?
Yeah, 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
Good.
17,
Okay.
18.
But
And now what about someone who's just kind of leisurely jogging, running?
26 minutes or 28 minutes.
Okay,
So,
33
yeah.
in someone's case, maybe?
Right.
In any case, it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. The weather's going to be good. So I think it'll
It's
be a great
cause.
race. It's in Douglas Park.
It's gorgeous. There's such a nice lake in the middle of that little pond that they have.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the pool that you pass by that you just want to jump into
Right.
during the run. And honestly, we all spend more than 30 minutes on Facebook every day. Everyone's on their social media, whether it's through their phone or, so a 30-minute run walk to help is pretty great. So our goal is to recruit 10 people. We're just about right at our goal. We have a couple people that are registering on site tomorrow, so I know that we'll make it. And, I'm just so happy to have our First Generation American team set up. So if you would like to join or you want more information, you could visit facebook.com/First First Generation American. You could just find our cover photo, click on the information that's listed there. And again, registration online is closed. We do encourage everyone to join us on site, and we'll be posting on Facebook for a meeting location. So the race starts at 8 a.m. and the party goes through about 11 a.m. We'll be the crazy kids dancing right in front of the stage, all red, white, and blue. Jessica and Andrew, thank you so much, not just for joining us today, but for all of your hard work within this project. I'm so blessed to have you on my team. I'm so happy for us to be building our nonprofit, and it'll be exciting to see where we are with our mentorship program 1 year from now.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about the project and glad to be a part of it.
Me too.
Thank you. For anyone else that would like to get involved with First Generation American Project, please feel free to reach out to us either on Facebook or join our website at firstgenerationamericanproject.com. My name is Ania Jablonowski. Thank you so much for joining us at Drinks and Dialogue, and we'll see you next time.